So I'm Raunak, and I'm from Noida, and I did my undergrad in from VIT Vellore. I did BTech in Computer Science and Engineering, and then I decided for masters. And right now I'm doing MSCS from NYU, and in my almost I'm in my second semester, and I'm expected to graduate in May 2025. So yeah, that's about me. Yeah, so no, I don't have any professional experience. I directly came after my undergrad. I only did like internships, but that was during my undergrad only. Okay, so I had the idea of studying abroad. I had it in my mind from the first year itself when I was in my undergrad. And then I was like, even my family were in support of it. And then finally, when I was in third year, I started prepping for it. So initially, the first thing on my list was studying about GRE because I had to give GRE. And then after GRE, I had to attempt TOEFL. So then, in my third year, I started, prepping for GRE. I took the Jamboree's GRE virtual classes and their test series, their material, and I was totally reliant on them, like for the test series and the classes and all. And so in July, I gave the Jamboree. I gave the GRE, and then after 2 months in September, I gave my TOEFL exam. And this is the year 2022, right? Right, yeah. Doing masters is like very good for me, and like I've seen other friends, I've seen seniors who went for masters after 2 or 3 years of experience. So I guess at a point, your career becomes stagnant if you don't have a master's degree because a lot of people are having it right now. So I saw them, and after 2 3 years of experience, they're coming for masters, and I was like, okay, I mean, that wasn't the case. That wasn't possible for me because I wasn't sure, like if even if after 2 or 3 years, I would be able to do a masters. Talking about the family situation and everything, considering all that. So that's why I decided, okay, I'll do the masters. My family was supportive of that, and then I thought, okay, I'll do directly after my undergrad, and I won't, I won't start working in India as of yet, and I'll directly work after I complete my master's. Okay, so since my undergrad was in computer science only, and computer science is like I'm interested in computer science only, and my undergrad, my academic background is all supportive of that. That's why I decided to go for computer science only, and then talking about shortlisting of universities. So that's a thing. I started after, based on my undergrad GPA, right? Then obviously based on my financial situation, then based on my GRE and TOEFL scores, that's how I started to, shortlist some of the universities which I like. And so that's how it all started. So I aimed initially for like 15 universities. I thought about, I'll shortlist 15 universities, and out of 15, I'll, probably fill the application for 10 or 11, and I ended up doing that only, like 11, 12 applications I did. So while shortlisting, what the factors I considered was, so mainly I categorized universities in three categories, right? Which I guess everyone does. So the safe, the moderate, and the ambitious ones. And after that, so talking about 15 universities, so I had like 5 6 in my safe ones, and 4 5 in my moderate, and again 4 5 in my ambitious ones. So I shortlisted them according to their course structure. And since I was looking for a professional master's course and not a thesis based, so that was a major factor, because some of the universities, and some of the even big universities, they only have a thesis based master's program. And since I wanted a professional industry based, so that was a factor. Then obviously location was another factor. According to me, like location, the weather, I'm going to be living there, the weather, and obviously the opportunities the city brings in. So that was another factor. And then obviously the tuition fees and the living expenses of the place, that was another factor. And also, like, okay, so I don't usually have a relative in the US, but like some of my friends, they had relatives. So obviously they also, shortlist universities accordingly, and somewhere near their relatives if they can get one. That's, I guess, nice. So I use YouTube a lot. There are a lot of people who consistently post content about masters in the US. Like there's and then after YouTube, there's a site admits.fyi. So it has a list of admits in the US universities, and it has a lot of filter options. You can filter according to your course. You can filter according to the university. You can there are a lot of filters. You can filter according to a desired GRE score or the GPA in the undergrad. So likewise, and I took the premium for it. And so if you take the premium, you can get the recent admits. So I looked the admits in the recent years in that particular university. For example, I was if I was applying to NYU, then I looked the recent admits in NYU MSCS, and I looked at the profiles of the people who got in and also the people who got rejected. I looked the profiles, and that's how I compared, and I kind of predicted my chances for it. That's how. So, like for every university, I did that. All right. So yeah, once I was like finalized with my universities, so every university has more or less the same kind of procedure about filling their application, right? Like some may even ask for some other essays or some additional questions, but mostly the procedures like that they have a fixed SOP format, right? And you have to give in the SOP according to that. And mostly they have three LORs or even more if you can do that. So I started with my LORs first because taking LORs from Indian professors is a big hassle, right? And so yeah, so I aimed for three LORs. I took all the three of my LORs from my professors in my undergrad. So I talked with them, and obviously in India they tell you to write the LOR. And yeah, so that's a procedure in India. So so what I did was like in each with each professor I shortlisted. So I shortlisted them based on the project I did under them, right? I like under one professor, I had two research papers published with under his guidance. So obviously, I took an LOR from him. So in the LOR, I wrote about the the research project which I did under him, right? And then another professor was my software engineering course professor. So I did a software engineering project under him. So I wrote about the software engineering project and the course and according to the coursework. So that's yeah. So that's what I wrote in my LORs. And then talking about SOP. So SOP, I started off. It's like a life story thing. So in the initial paragraph, what I aimed was how my interest got developed in the field of computer science. Then how I joined my undergrad program, right? And then what all I learned in my undergrad program, all the academic basic stuff. And then in the next paragraphs, I wrote about my projects, my research projects, right? And then internships, my work experience that I gained. And after that, the co-curricular extra activities which I indulged in, the clubs and chapters in the undergrad universities, and all that. And then how can I then the ending paragraphs I wrote about how all this would help me, being the right candidate in the for the masters in their university. And also like for SOP we have to research about every university. We have to research about their labs, and it's a good thing to mention about the lab in the SOP as well. Like that's what I did. Like for each university I researched about the lab which I was interested in, which was relevant to my field. And then I also researched about the professors in the lab, or even the person who are heading the lab. For example, there was a data science lab in NYU, right? So I wrote about that in my SOP, that like I would like to work in that lab under this professor. I would like to do a project, etc. You know, And so this really helps that you're actually passionate about research and research based on based on your field. So yep, so I did that for like every university, and in the SOP, that's what I wrote in my ending paragraphs. Like this all will help me being a good student, being a good grad student in your university. Yep, that's all. And also, like for SOPs, I'd like to add one more thing. So it's also a good thing to, get your SOP checked thoroughly. Like I had a senior from my college who went to University of Washington. So I sent him my SOP, right? He checked my SOP, and then also I took the GRE classes from Jamboree, so they were also like offering kind of help in these LORs and SOPs. So I got my LORs and SOPs checked and verified from them as well. Like it's a good thing to have a third person view and someone who has already done that to review your work. That's also a good thing. So I applied for 11 universities, right? And I got three admits. So my first admit was from University of Arizona and Arizona State University. And my second admit was from NYU only. And the third admit I got, it was from UI Bloomington, University of Indiana Bloomington. Since I did not had a major, you know, like I knew if I had got an admit from NYU, so according to me it's better than UI Bloomington or ASU. So yeah, I mean it was not a tough choice for me to shortlist among the admits. And but yeah, I've seen some of my friends who actually get a tough choice, to shortlist among two universities. So they usually do it based on the cost, based on the city, because obviously people, I mean, you're coming from India, you would want to you would want to be in a big city so that you can get more opportunities. So yeah, I mean the weather also matters. So accordingly, people shortlist the universities which they get admit from. Before applying to these universities that I shortlisted, I obviously looked at their placements, like, how are the graduate students they are doing. And also, these universities, they have a metrics about, the placements and all. So I looked at that. And since, I wasn't a lot interested in the research work, or else people do also consider the research work the university does. That's another thing. And then, yeah, yes, like on-campus jobs, they are also another good source while to fund your studies while studying.